why are you the best candidate to fill this seat?
The lived experience I have, my service to the community, the fact that I have been on the front line for this district for more than 20 years in public service, 20 as an elected official, almost 18 years as an elected official. But I've been in this community. I've lived here for 51 years in the district. I grew up here. My business is here. I live here. I eat here. I do everything in District 20, by the way. So it is that lived experience that I have. And not only that, I have proven results that I've been able to bring people together to solve problems. I was a mayor during COVID. And during that time, we face a huge challenge. Bringing the community together to solve the issue that we face is critical. The issues that we face is critical. And during COVID, bringing the community together saved life. When we look at Miami-Dade County and Palm Beach County, our sister in counties, we had less deaths per thousand in Broward County than they did in Palm Beach or Miami-Dade County. And that is what we must do in Washington. We must bring our country together, our people together, and focus on the issues that are most important to them. The high cost of living is critical that we addressed.
Moving on to the next one, the seat has been led by a Black lawmaker for the last 34 years. What role do you say that plays in this election?
Diverse representation is important to build strong communities. And that is why we have the Civil Rights Act that ensure that everyone get a chance to vote and to have representation. America is a diverse country. And when we bring people from diverse backgrounds together, we're better together. Certainly we are. So it is important that someone with a lived experience of the people in this district represent them. And I'll give you a couple of data points. One, I looked at some data a couple of years ago that shows that 74% of the youths that were arrested in Broward County were Black. 47% of the people in prison in the state of Florida are Black. And Blacks only make up 16.9% of the population at the time I look at the data. So driving down the street as a Black person, I'm twice as likely to be stopped for not wearing a seatbelt as someone white. Black unemployment rate, double that of white unemployment rate. Black home ownership rate, 46% compared to about 76% for white. There's a big difference in your lived experience that you bring to the table. So that's a big part of what representation is about.
If there was one issue you could fix tomorrow in the district, what would it be?
It's the high cost of living. When you look at the Alice report that was put together by the United Way, it shows that 47% of the people in the state of Florida either live in poverty or paycheck to paycheck. 13% below the poverty rate, $15,900 per year. That's the federal poverty rate. 34% work, and if they have a car repair or a medical bill, they have to get a payday loan or pawn something. That's not where we should be as a nation. So that would be the first thing I work to fix. And housing cost is through the roof. That's something we must fix immediately. And there are things that we can do. In Broward County, we put the CRA money that came in after those CRAs were expired towards affordable housing and economic development. We have to grow our economy and make sure people are having a good wage, a living wage. And that's something that I fought for at the county, a living wage for those who work. We must ensure that those who labor and create profits for these major corporations also share in the prosperity. That's why we must strengthen our unions.
What are the top 3 issues facing residents? You touched on it a little bit, but I want to give you this chance here as well, too, with the same question. What are the top 3 issues facing residents in the district, and what specific actions could you do in your first year to address that?
Well, I'd say this. The top one, of course, is housing cost. Too many of our people are unhoused. Many are barely making ends meet to pay the bills. In Broward, South Florida is now ranked higher in cost of living than New York. It's gone crazy. So that's a big piece of what we must do. So here's what I would propose. We must partner with our local government, our cities and our counties, to bring more resources in for affordable housing and create opportunities for home ownership. Home ownership is a huge investment for most families, and that's what's left over when someone passes away for many families to utilize to continue to grow their economic opportunities. So it's a big piece of what we must do. That's the first thing that we must do. We must also look to see how we grow our economy by doing more manufacturing in our community. And we don't have to necessarily put a whole lot of industrialization stuff in. We already manufacture medical devices that's best around the world. What we must do is do more of that and sell more of it to the rest of the world. So that's a big part of what I believe we must deal with. Our educational system need more funding. Families need to have funding to take care of early childhood education and daycare. Many can't afford it. That's a big deal for many families. I was out doing a project with Lauderhill and cleanup a few weeks ago. And there's a young man that worked for the county that I knew. And I asked him, you got 2 jobs? He says, yes. I said, what do you need 2 jobs? He says, well, one of them go to take care of my 2 kids in daycare. That's a big issue for us. And if we're not investing in the future, we're going to be behind China and India and those other countries that we're competing with. They're creating more engineers than we are.
Anything else that you want to add?
So our small business must be given more tools and opportunities to grow their businesses. And that's something I did at the county. As a result of me being there, we went from 10.25% of our procurement going to small business, which includes our minority women-owned businesses, to almost 50%, 48% when I left in 22. That year was $248 million. And over the time of 12 years that I was there, 2.4 billion. And anyone you talk to will know that I'm a champ that did business with the Broward County, knew I was a champion for small businesses. We must also give those businesses more tools, more opportunities to grow and develop. I started the Lauderhill Chamber of Commerce when I got elected in 2004 there. I'm a founding member of Broad Black Chamber of Commerce, work with the Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance and many issues facing us. So it's a big deal that we must do. We must continue to grow our economic engine, our port and our seaport. That provides a lot of jobs. The port alone, 293,000 jobs across the state of Florida. That's economic uplift for all our people.
Yeah. Just lastly, where is your watch party? Do you have one set yet?
Well, at this point in time, we're probably going to use my office. We'll see where we go from there. I have to watch the budget to make sure that we have enough funding in place to do what we need to do, and that's not going to cost me any extra money. So we're looking at that because we need to put as much investment as we possibly can to help people get out to vote.
Okay. And where is that something that you'll be open to the media can come to the watch party?
We will, yes, we
Okay.
we can.
What is that?
How are we gonna exclude you?
Yeah, of course, of course. What is the office location then? So we have that.
4325 West Sunrise Boulevard in Plantation.
4325 West Sunrise Boulevard in Plantation. What time are you having that party start?
We will probably gather right after the poll shuts down.
After polls close.
Because we'll also be feeding the people who are out working, so we'll have food here for them. That's an important part of what we do. Now, let me add something else that I think is critical for us to do. Health insurance. We must make sure that health insurance, healthcare is a human right, and we must make it universal. This current administration cut Medicare. That's to our most vulnerable population. They cut SNAP, food stamps. Who benefits from that? It is working families with children. It's our seniors on fixed income. We must reverse the big ugly bill that was passed by the Republicans and use those funding to help the middle class grow and expand and help those who have the greatest needs in our country. That's the right thing to do as a nation. That's how we build and strengthen our country.